here's your Northbrook market report for the month of October. So heading into fall, I think you're looking to me for guidance as well as reviewing the stats from last month because data helps us analyze what's going on in the market. Although I think you also want to hear what I'm seeing and legs on the ground and the numbers lag behind. So we're going to take a deep dive into what's going on in the Northbrook numbers. I'm Caroline Gow with Real. So when we look at the prices, the average sales price in Northbrook is $686,928. That is up 9% over this time last year. And compared to last month, it is about the same. And we're also seeing that across the board. So in other areas of our report, the market time. We have 42 days on the market. So if no new homes come on the market, it would take us 42 days to clear out the current inventory. And that is down 8% over this time last year, although it's exactly the same as it was last month and even the month before. So you'll see this line is quite flat over the summer. We have had about the same number of market days and the same number of homes for sale. So the other point I like to look at is the last list price to sold price. So this tells you about what's going on with the multiple offers. So you'll see that our average is over 100%. That is an increase of 1.7% and similar to last month. So that means that properly priced properties are selling over the asking price, and we're seeing multiple offers, not the frenzy that we had in March and April, although new listings are still getting multiple offers and selling very quickly. Then we look at month supply. So this means that in a balanced market, the month supply would be around 6 months. If it's less than 6 months, that means that it's a seller's market. So our numbers for Northbrook are 1.6 months of homes for sale. When we are greater than 6 months, that would be a softening market heading into a buyer's market. So even though the interest rates have dropped, they have, to give you an idea, April of this year, when the rates were higher, a $400,000 house was $374 per month more expensive than it is now with the rates that they've dropped. So that's created a lot more affordability for people that have been looking for the summer. So if they can find a house that they would like to buy, then it makes sense. They can save some money on their monthly payment. But because, as you see here, the numbers are still showing some tightness of the inventory. But what I have noticed, I was doing my research for this video, and the properties in Northbrook, there are more than 10 that I believe that will be doing a price change in the next couple of weeks. And why? Well, here we are, it's October 8th, and we are about a month from the election. So if a property goes under contract right now, the average to closing is about 30 to 45 days. People want to be in before the holidays. If they wait till November 1st, then we're dealing with Thanksgiving and the December winter months. So this is the final push for the next couple of weeks. People want to make decisions and get under contract so that they can close before the holidays. So properties that didn't sell the first 3 weeks or so, that tells us in this market that the price is too high. It didn't hit the bingo price. Doesn't necessarily mean there's anything wrong with the house. It's just that it wasn't properly positioned for the buyers that what they're expecting. And I have noticed that buyers are very savvy. They know what the properties are, that they've seen anything that looks interesting to them, either online and their first showing is the pictures, or they've come in, taken a look at those houses, and for whatever reason, they haven't jumped at them. So when a new listing comes on the market, they see the pictures, they drive by, they get some information, they look at the public details, what the taxes are, and they do their research before they come and see the house. So if the buyer has passed on that house and isn't making an offer, typically it's because they haven't been interested in putting in an offer. So when we do a price change, if I'm working with the seller, I recommend that the price change be 5 to 10%. And in these price ranges, that is a lot to stomach. But why? Small incremental price changes are not effective. You don't want to just do $2,000 or $3,000 to show that it's got a price reduction. You want to make it into a new range of buyers. So by doing at least 5%, then when a buyer is starting fresh with their search, they'll see that the new listing is going to pop into their range, and that should spur some activity. The other reason to do a price change to that amount is there might be people that had seen the house previously and were considering it. Maybe they just didn't pull the trigger for whatever reason. And now when there's a price change, that gets them engaged. Maybe they'll come back a second time or bring family members. So that is something to keep in mind with price changes. So when I'm looking on the MLS and I see a property that's been 30 or 40 days on the market with no price changes and it hasn't gone under contract, that tells me that if they are very motivated to sell, they'll likely do a price change. So we're keeping an eye on that for our buyers. It might be a good time for buyers who have been frustrated in the market this summer and spring and being beat out in multiple offers. Now, if what I've been advising buyers lately is, let's take a look at some of the properties that have been on the market for 30 days or so that maybe you think it might be a stretch for the budget, but perhaps if we can negotiate, what's that like? Going back to negotiating, we could get a good deal at this time of year. All right, so some other things we look at, the homes for sale. Yeah, we only have 73 homes on the market in Northbrook. I've said this previous months, but my example is April of 2019. We had 354 homes for sale. And now here we are, October 24, and we have 73 homes for sale. And it's been like that for most of the year. So if I'm going back to 24, yeah, in January of 24, we had 78. So, and it's been dropping this entire year. And we're still only around 72, 73. So to get those properties sold, if they haven't in the last month or so, then that means that it just didn't hit the bingo price. And if it's repositioned, it would be exciting to another buyer in a different range. Okay, so that is pretty much what's going on in Northbrook, and we see a similar story other areas in North Shore and Northwest. And if anyone has not taken the time to sit down with you and talk about the new rules in real estate, since August 17th, we have transitioned to the new way of doing things, and I'd love to explain the old way and the new way and how it's going to benefit you. Bye.